Hey guys, Andrew McFarlane here. Hope you're having a beautiful day. And I wanted to expound on a theme of manifestation. Recently, I posted a video about how in my personal life I've started to realize more of the cycles of creation in nature and in my own life. And this has really allowed me to become more really clear on the process and have more confidence and ease in the process as things develop. And in that conversation, I use this, this metaphor of a marathon and how sometimes when we are in different spaces of our life, we can create from such a place of effort. We want to make things happen. We want to force things. And it's kind of this idea of sprinting to the goal. We want things to happen quickly. And we can burn ourselves out, or the result of what we create might not have longevity, doesn't have the same kinds of qualities that things that happen in a more natural cycle and more harmonious cycle actually have. And so thinking about this idea that life is a marathon, and not to say that life is a marathon so things are long, but it's more so to say that it's about pacing yourself. It's about finding balance and finding grace in the process of creation as opposed to so much effort and strain for short durations of time. And then we look at this experience of within a lifetime, even within a day, there are people, and us in particular, have the opportunity to actually create more from a more powerful space without reverting to effort. So how do we do this? How do we actually increase our overall personal power? I don't mean power over, I mean just in terms of this, our overall resonance, so that when we are in the process of creating, things happen with greater potency throughout and overall. A few things that we have to look at. So the first thing that I want to talk about is moving beyond excitement and moving into inspiration, right? So many times I've seen a lot of us can get to the place where we're very excited about things that are happening, and so we move from this concept to this thing, or we travel from this place to that place, and we're constantly in this place where we're not really going deep into anything. And so one of the metaphors that's been used in this regard is it's like digging a lot of really, really shallow holes, but you don't really dig that deep well that will get you to the water, right? Because you're constantly using your energy to do a little bit. And it's easy to move from excitement because of just sheerly that, that word, the excitement, right? The feeling that you get, and the just elation of the envisioning the possibilities, right? But it's really, really important that we discern whether we're moving from inspiration or excitement, because inspiration will carry you through even when things get challenging. Whereas excitement, you'll notice when things get hard or difficult or uncomfortable, you just give it up. You stop moving from that same space. One thing that will also give you an indicator on whether or not you're moving from excitement or inspiration is, one, vibrationally in the body. Excitement and inspiration feel differently. Inspiration comes from a deeper place. It's more in the root of your being. But also feeling into whether or not you are moved beyond yourself, right? So what do I mean by this? When you're excited, oftentimes it doesn't require you to grow. You can stay and maintain who you are. where when you are moved into inspiration, whether you know it or not, 9 times out of 10, you are going to grow. And because of that, sometimes even fear will be present. So you have this excitement, and we feel this, you have this idea, this concept, this feeling that you want to manifest something in the world, and you're inspired, but you're also even fearful. And why is there fear present? Why is that an indicator? Because inspiration comes from life, and life is always wanting to expand, it's always wanting to grow. And in order for it to grow through you, and you have to grow, your vehicle, your vessel actually has to expand in order for more current and more energy to flow through it. So the fear comes from the conditioning that you have diminishing, the conditioning and the limitations, I should say, that you have diminishing, deteriorating, dying off, however you want to look at it. But there's a transformation that's taking place, because in order for that vision that you have, that life has given you, that inspiration, in order for that to manifest, you have to become more. As someone once said, in order to have more, you must become more. Because right now, your life is everything that you have in your life, a lot of what you're experiencing is a manifestation of who you are currently and the vibration or the field that you are able to maintain. Now, as you allow more inspiration to flow through you, your vehicle, your vessel, your being has to expand in order to hold the space of that new vision to emerge. So, in that same way, that's why one of the qualities of inspiration is having fear. Not always, but oftentimes. One of the other qualities that you'll notice, whether or not you're actually moving from inspiration versus excitement, is this feeling of inclusiveness, right? When you're inspired, and it may not always be so tangible, but your experience is to contribute. Inspiration always involves people more than yourself. It always involves more individuals. It involves communities. It involves the entire world. Now, something I want to say on that is proportionate to your vision, right? The larger your vision is, the more sometimes fear you'll have, the more energy that will need to flow through you, but also as a gift, the more that other elements outside of you will be able to support you. Now, why is that? It's because life is always seeking to support and express more life, support itself. And the way that I look at this, it's like the more you have a vision to support all of life, it's like you become a white blood cell in the body of life, right? Your body is going to preserve the things that help support and preserve your body. When you become someone who is supporting more of life, life can now support you more and more and more. So all of the resources and things, and this is maybe another conversation, but just energetically, when you actually start to move into these spaces of of inspiration, and you actually take on visions that are bigger than yourself, you will actually start to feel and see things come towards you that you would have never seen or expected or even been receptive to prior to you taking on certain visions and missions. Because when you say yes, now you're available. When you say yes to a vision, now you're available to allow things to manifest, as opposed to you even being on the fence and being a maybe or being a no. So that's the first thing I want to share. The next thing I want to share in terms of you being able to manifest things in your life with greater potency and with greater ease, and yet simultaneously more immediacy, right? The immediacy doesn't come from desperation. The immediacy actually is just a byproduct of the energy and the current that you're moving with. Is we have to really take inventory energetically in our lives and become more energetically lean. What do I mean by that? It's this is a terminology that's used, both physically in our bodies, right? To say that your physical body is lean, it means that you don't have any excess weight on your body, meaning that you don't have things on your body that you're not utilizing. Every part of your physical being has its purpose and is being utilized for the function of your body. If you have a lot of excess weight on your body, you're carrying things around that your body isn't really using. And this term is also used in business. Being lean means being very flexible. It means being very efficient, right? And so we have to take inventory in our own lives and see where it is that we are holding on to things that are not contributing to our goals. So this is physically, this is emotionally, this is mentally. And something I want to say on that front is realization I had a number of years ago was that these energies, physical, mental, emotional, are actually not different. It's the same energy manifesting differently, which is why you cannot neglect any of them. One thing that might make that more clear is if you think about, for example, if you're in a lot of physical pain, you just broke your leg, and a friend comes to you and says, hey, I want to tell you about my day. It's like, as much as you may want to listen to them, you're in so much pain that you cannot focus your attention emotionally on what they're going through because of your physical pain. That's where your attention is, right? Same thing emotionally. If you're grieving or something and someone says, hey, come solve this math problem, your mental bandwidth isn't there to solve a math problem. That's not where your focus is. And it's because it's really all the same energy. And the more that we are physically at ease, mentally spacious, emotionally at peace, now we have more bandwidth to actually put our creative energy, and it's the same energy, towards that goal, to whatever life is inspiring us to do, right? So we have to just see where we are emotionally, mentally, physically overweight or not lean. Now, it's another conversation to think, okay, how do I change my habits? How do I get to the place where I am more lean? And that just takes awareness, and I'm not going to dive into that now, but I just wanted to share that there really are ways for us to increase our energy in order to manifest things in a way that doesn't require effort. Right? And in a lot of ways, it's the lack of effort. See, sometimes people think that non-doing is inactivity, when that's actually not the case. You can be in a state of non-doing internally and be very active, and probably I would even argue to say even more active, because of how in alignment, right? Like if you even look at gears or something, is when things are in alignment, when things are flowing, they are the most potent. And life is always moving towards this greater efficiency, right? So when you are functioning at your highest level, I don't just mean externally. I don't just mean because you seem to be functioning at your highest level because of the appearance. I mean actually, when you're actually functioning at your highest level, you are actually in a greater state of grace and ease and peace, because those are the spaces that our energy actually becomes the most potent. So that's the message for today. This is Andrew McFarlane. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.